just like I don't care because I don't. Because I don't. I'm gonna eventually get it back going, get it together. I actually want to lock up soon. Um, yes, I cannot wait till I make that decision. Day 13, 14. I think we're on day 14. Day 14 of reading the entire Bible in the year of 2026. Whatever today's date is, that's what day we're on. I'm using this Bible study. Um, the Bible in 52 Weeks is a year-long Bible study for women. I'm using this to keep me and whoever come on live on track to get the entire Bible completed, read in 2026. And then they also have questions that go with each week. Like for example, week 2 is titled Giving Up is Not an Option. And then on I think on day 4 we were supposed to read. Let's see. Yeah, I think on day 4 we're supposed to read and answer these. So I'm going to read our chapters today and then I'm going to read out of here. It's just a few questions and a short read. Yeah. So we first we're going to do Genesis 42 through 46 before we get to the Bible study notes questions. I don't know. Hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully that makes sense, y'all. So I'm gonna wait till some people hop on. Um, actually, I'm not. If you run into this later, that's perfectly fine as well. This will be posted, so I'm not going to wait. So let's get it started. This is Genesis chapter 42, and I am reading out of the NIV Study Bible. So it is titled Joseph and His Brothers Meet in Egypt. Joseph's brothers go to Egypt when let me sit up right. Chapter 42, Genesis chapter 42. So Joseph's brothers go to Egypt. When Jacob learned, do you have kids? No, I don't have kids. Do you know Jesus? When Jacob learned, said hi Romeo. When Jacob learned that there were grain in Egypt, he said to his sons, "Why do you just keep looking at each other?" He continued, "I have heard that there is grain in Egypt. Go down there and buy some for us, so that we may live and not die." I should live and not die. Verse 3. Then 10 of Joseph's brothers went down to buy grain from Egypt. But Jacob did not send Benjamin, Joseph's brother, with the others because he was afraid that harm might come to him. So Israel's sons were among those who went to buy grain. For there was famine in the land of Canaan also. Now Joseph was the governor of the land. Amen. Jesus does save. Talon. Now Joseph was the governor of the land, the person who sold grain to all its people. So when Joseph's brothers arrived, they bowed down to him and with their faces to the ground. As soon as Joseph saw his brothers, he recognized them, but he pretended to be a stranger and spoke harshly to them. "Where do you come from?" he asked. "From the land of Canaan," they replied, "to buy food." Although Joseph recognized his brothers, they did not recognize him. Then he remembered his dreams about them and said to them, "You are spies. You have come to see where our land is unprotected." "No, my lord," they answered. "Your servants have come to buy food. We are all the sons of one man. Your servants are honest men, not spies." No, he said to them, you have come to see where our land is unprotected. But they replied, hmm, that makes so much sense about monitoring spirits. I just thought about that. Like, I used to wonder, what is the point of monitoring spirits and like the enemy sending monitoring spirits? But right here, I'm getting that revelation that the monitoring spirits, just like spies, are coming to see where you have open doors, where you're unprotected, so that they can plant evil seeds. Verse 13. But they replied, your servants were 12 brothers, the sons of one man, who lives in the land of Canaan. The youngest is now with our father, the one and one is no more. Joseph said to them, it is just as I told you. You are spies, and this is how you will be tested. Uh, okay. This is how you will be tested. Send one of your number to get your brother. The rest of you will be kept in prison, so that your words may be tested to see if you are telling the truth. If you are not, then as surely as Pharaoh lives, you are spies. And he put them all in custody for 3 days. On the third day, Joseph said to them, do this and you will live, for I fear God. If you are honest men, let one of your brothers stay here in prison, while the rest of you go and take grain back to your starving households. But you must bring your youngest brother to me, so that your words may be verified and that you may not die. This they proceeded to do. They said to one another, surely we are being punished because of our brother. We saw how distressed he was when he pleaded with us for his life, but we would not listen. That's why this distress has come on us. See, they have been literally tormented with giving their brother up into slavery, offering him up into slavery for years. I mean, how many years have went by, and that's the first thing that comes to their mind. So you know that was in the back of their mind, like literally. They were literally tormented because of that. They never forget. They haven't forgiven themselves yet. They couldn't yet. So, verse 22, Reuben replied, didn't I tell you not to sin against the boy? Now, Reuben, okay, he could say something because Reuben tried. At least he kind of tried. He didn't want to unalive him. But you wouldn't listen. Now we must give an account for his blood. They did not recognize that Joseph could understand them, since he was using an interpreter. He turned away from them and began to weep. But then came back and spoke to them again. And Joseph had that burden too, obviously. Joseph struggled with forgiving his brothers for what they done. He had Simeon taken from them and bound before their eyes. Verse 25, Joseph gave orders to fill their bags with grain, to put each man's silver back in his sack, and to give them provisions for their journey. After this was done for them, they loaded their grain on their donkeys and left. At that place one night, where they stopped the night, one of them opened his sack to get food for his donkey. And he saw his silver in the mouth of his sack. My silver has been returned, he said to his brothers. Here it is in my sack. Their hearts sank, and they turned to each other, trembling, and said, what is this that God has done to us? When they come to their father Jacob in the land of Canaan, they told him all that had happened to them. They said, the man who is Lord over the land spoke harshly to us and treated us as though we were spying on the land. But we said to him, we are honest men. We are spies. This is so good. Like, it's amazing how you can see the Bible different ways. And once you continue to read it, it's just different revelations that you get each time. Because the word spies is literally sticking out to me this time, which it usually don't. We were 12 brothers, sons of one father. One is no more, and the youngest is now with our father in Canaan. Verse 33, then the man who is Lord over the land, said to us, "This is how I will know whether you men are honest men. Leave one of your brothers here with me, and take food for your starving household and go. But bring your youngest brother to me, so I will know that you are not spies but honest men. Then I will give your brother back to you, and you can trade in the land." 35, verse 35. As they were emptying their sacks, there in each man's sacks was his pouch of silver. When they and their father saw the money pouches, they were frightened. Their father Jacob said to them, "You have deprived me of my children. Joseph is no more, and Simeon is no more, and now you want to take Benjamin. Everything is against me." Then Reuben said to his father, "You may put both of my sons to death if I do not bring him back to you. Entrust him to my care, and I will bring him back." But Jacob said, "My son will not go down there with you. His brother is dead, and he is the only one left. If harm comes to him on this journey or on the journey you are taking, you will bring my gray head down to the grave in sorrow." Chapter 43. The second journey to Egypt. The second journey to Egypt. Now the famine was still severe in the land. So when they had eaten all the grain they had brought from Egypt, their father said to them, "Go back and buy us a little more food." But Judah said to him, "The man warned us solemnly, 'You will not see my face again.'" Said, hey, Romeo. Hope you're doing well tonight. So, you will not see my face again unless your brother is with you. If you will send our brother along with us, we will go down and buy food for you. But if you will not send him, we will not go down. Because the man said to us, 'You will not see my face again unless your brother is with you.'" Israel asked, "Why did you bring this trouble on me by telling the man you had another brother?" Jacob, like, you should lie. You should have not mentioned him. Literally. They replied, "The man questioned us closely about ourselves and our family. 'Is your father still living?' he asked us. 'Do you have another brother?' We simply answered his questions. How were we to know he would say, 'Bring your brother down here'?" Then Judah said to Israel, his father, "Send the boy along with me, and we will go at once, so that we and you and our children may live and not die. I myself will guarantee his safety. You can hold me personally responsible for him. If I do not bring him back to you and set him here before you, I will bear the blame before you all my life. As it is, if we had not delayed, we could have gone and returned twice." Then their father Israel said to them, "If it must be, then do this. Put some of the best products of the land in your bags and take them down to the man as a gift, a little balm and a little honey, some spices and myrrh, some pistachios, nuts, and almonds. Take double the amount of silver with you, for you must return the silver that was put back into the mouths of your sacks. Perhaps it was a mistake. Take your brother also and go back to the man at once. And may God Almighty grant you mercy before the man, so that he will let your other brother and Benjamin come back with you. As for me, if I am bereaved, I am bereaved." So the man took the gifts and doubled the amount of silver, and Benjamin also. They hurried down to Egypt and presented themselves to Joseph. When Joseph saw Benjamin with them, he said to the steward of the house, "Take these men to my house, slaughter an animal, and prepare a meal. They are to eat with me at noon." The man did as Joseph told him and took the men to Joseph's house. Now the men were frightened when they were taken to his house. They thought, "We were brought here because of the silver that was put back into our sacks the first time. He wants to attack us and overpower us and seize us as slaves and take our donkeys. So they went up to Joseph's steward and spoke to him at the entrance of the house. We beg your pardon, our Lord, they said. We came down here the first time to buy food, but at the place where we stopped for the night, we opened our sacks, and each of us found his silver, the exact weight, in the mouth of his sack. So we have brought it back with us. We have also brought additional silver with us to buy food. We don't know who put our silver in our sacks. It's all right, he said. Don't be afraid. Your God, the God of your father, has given you treasure in your sacks. I received your silver. Then he brought Simeon out to them. The steward took the men into Joseph's house, gave them water to wash their feet, and provided fodder for their donkeys. They prepared their gifts for Joseph's arrival at noon because they had heard that they were to eat there. When Joseph came home, they presented to him the gifts they had brought into the house, and they bowed down before him to the ground. He asked them how they were, and then he said, "How is your aged father you told me about? Is he still living?" They replied, "Your servant, our father, is still alive and well." And they bowed down, prostrating themselves before him. As he looked about and saw his brother Benjamin, his own mother's son, he asked, "Is this your youngest brother, the one you told me about?" And he said, "God be gracious to you, my son." Deeply moved at the sight of his brother, Joseph hurried out and looked for a place to weep. He went into his private room and wept there. After he had washed his face, he came out. Oh, he came out. Oops. He came out, controlling himself, said, "Serve the food." Verse 32. They served him by himself, the brothers by themselves, and the Egyptians who ate with him by themselves, because Egyptians could not eat with Hebrews, for that is detestable to Egyptians. The men had been seated before him in the order of their ages, for the firstborn to the youngest, and they looked at each other in astonishment. When proportions were served to them from Joseph's table, Benjamin's portion was 5 times as much as anyone else's. So they feasted and drank freely with him. And I literally just thought about it, like how racism was introduced and racism was introduced in the Bible. Like, I was just thinking about how people was talking about racism and how did it begin, what's racism origin, and literally its origin is when sin entered into the world. We literally see it soon. Abraham really appears, or maybe even before that, but I know it was after Adam and Eve had sinned against God and got kicked out of the garden. That's when we see, like, I mean, they didn't even eat with the Egyptians, and the Israelites couldn't marry. They didn't want to marry anybody but Israelites, which is racist. And the Egyptians didn't want to eat. Right here we see with the Israelites because that was detestable to them. Yeah, it was detestable. So it was just so racist. Whew. Oh my gosh. I just tore my little paper, y'all. Oh, goodness. Let me get some water. Nothing is as refreshing. Nothing is as refreshing as some cold water, right? Am I right or am I right? Oh, and my freezer get it as perfect every time. Every time. Okay. We on chapter 44, guys. We stopping at 46. a silver cup in a sack. So now Joseph gave these instructions to the steward of his house. Fill these men's sack with as much food as they can carry, and put each man's silver in the mouth of his sack. Then put yes. Oh, I guess I can actually add this. Let me try this. Hold on. I'm about to type in a question. Rehearse conversations. I'm gonna say, have you read the entire Bible? Because that's what we're focusing on. And then I guess I just do it like that. Okay. Okay, there we go. So now I got my little question up there. Have you read the entire Bible? While I'm reading Genesis 44. So I said I stopped at I think verse 2. Okay, then no. Verse 3. As morning dawned, the men were sent on their way with their donkeys. They had not gone far from the city when Joseph said to his steward, "Go after those men at once, and when you catch up with them, say to them, 'Why have you repaid good with evil?'" Joseph didn't set him up. He said, "Why have you repaid good with evil? Isn't this the cup my master drinks from and also uses for divination? This is a wicked thing you have done." When he caught up with them, he repeated, I don't know why it says uses for divination. I gotta look into that because I don't know what they're talking about. When he caught, and this is the NIV version. When he caught up with them, he repeated these words to them. But they said to him, "Why does my Lord say such things? Far be it from your servants to do anything like that. We even brought back to you from the land of Canaan the silver we found inside the mouths of our sacks. So why would we steal silver or gold from your master's house? Why? If any of your servants is found to have it, he will die. The rest of us will become my lord's slaves." "Very well then," he said. "Let it be as you say. Whoever is found to have it will become my slave, and the rest of you will be free from blame." Each of them quickly lowered his sack to the ground and opened it. Then the steward proceeded to search, beginning with the oldest and ending with the youngest. And the cup was found in Benjamin's sack. Of course it was. As this, they tore their clothes. Then all loaded their donkeys and returned to the city. Joseph was still in the house when Judah and his brothers came in, and they threw themselves to the ground before him. Joseph said to them, "What is this you have done? Don't you know that a man like me can find things out by divination? What can we say to my lord?" Judah replied, "What can we say? How can we prove our innocence? God has uncovered your servant's guilt. We are now my lord's slaves, we ourselves and the one who was found to have the cup." But Joseph said, "Far be it from me to do such a thing. Only the man who was found to have the cup will become my slave. The rest of you go back to your father in peace." Then Judah went up to him and said, "Pardon your servant, my lord. Let me speak. A word to my lord. Do not be angry with your servant, though you are equal to Pharaoh himself." My lord asked his servants, "Do you have a father or a brother?" And we answer, "We have an aged father, and there is a young son born to him in his old age. His brother is dead, and he is the only one of his mother's sons left, and his father loves him. Then you said to your servants, 'Bring him down to me, so I can see him for myself.' And we said to my lord, 'The boy cannot leave his father. If he leaves him, his father will die.' But you told your servants, unless your youngest brother comes down with you, you will not see my face again. When we went back to your servant, my father, we told him what my Lord had said. Then our father said, go back and buy a little more food. But we said, we cannot go down there. Only if our youngest brother is with us will we go. We cannot see the man's face unless our youngest brother is with us. Your servant, my father, said to us, you know that my wife bore me two sons. One of them went away from me, and I said, he has surely been torn to pieces, and I have not seen him since. If you take this one from me, two and harm comes to him. You will bring my gray head down to the grave in misery. So now if the boy is not with us, when I go back to your servant, my father, and if my father, whose life is closely bound up with the boy's life, sees that the boy isn't there, he will die. Your servants will bring the gray heads of our father down to the grave in sorrow. Your servant guaranteed the boy's safety to my father. I said, if I do not bring him back to you, I will bear the blame before you, my father, all my life. Now then, please let your servant remain here as my Lord's slave in place of the boy, and let the boy return with his brothers. How can I go back to my father if the boy is not with me? No, do not let me see the misery that will come on my father. Chapter 45. Joseph makes himself known. Now he about to make himself known to his brothers. Chapter 45, Genesis. Then Joseph could no longer control himself before all his attendants, and he cried out, have everyone leave my presence. So there was no one with Joseph when he made himself known to his brothers. And he wept so loudly that Egyptians heard him. And Pharaoh's household heard about it. Joseph said to his brothers, I am Joseph. Is my father still living? But his brothers were not able to answer him because they were terrified at his presence. Then Joseph said to his brothers, come close to me. When they had done so, he said, I am your brother Joseph, the one you sold into Egypt. And now do not be distressed and do not be angry with yourselves for selling me here, because it was to save lives that God sent me ahead of you. For 2 years now, there has been famine in the land, and for the next 5 years, there will be no plowing or reaping. But God sent me ahead of you to preserve for you a remnant on earth and to save your lives by a great deliverance. So then, it was not you who sent me here, but God. Hallelujah. He made me father to Pharaoh, lord of his entire household, and ruler of all Egypt. Now hurry back to my father and say to him, this is what your son Joseph says. God has made me lord of all Egypt. Come down to me. Don't delay. You shall live in the region of Goshen and be near me. You, your children and grandchildren, your flocks and herds, and all you have. I will provide for you there because 5 years of famine are still to come. Otherwise, you and your household and all who belong to you will become destitute. You can see for yourselves, and so can my brother Benjamin, that it is really I who am speaking to you. Tell your father about all the honor accorded me in Egypt and about everything you have seen, and bring my father down quickly. Then he threw his arms around his brother Benjamin and wept. And Benjamin embraced him, weeping, and he kissed all his brothers and wept over them. Afterward, his brothers talked with him. When the news reached Pharaoh's palace that Joseph's brothers had came, Pharaoh and all his officials were pleased. Pharaoh said to Joseph, tell your brothers do this. Load your animals and return to the land of Canaan, and bring your father and your families back to me. I will give you the best land of Egypt, and you can enjoy the fat of the land. Amen. You are also directed to tell them, do this. Take some carts from Egypt for your children and your wives, and get your father and come. Never mind about your belongings, because the best of all Egypt will be yours." So the sons of Israel did this. Joseph gave them carts as Pharaoh had commanded, and he also gave them provisions for their journey. To each of them he gave new clothing, but to Benjamin he gave 300 shekels of silver and 5 sets of clothes. And this is what he sent to his father: 10 donkeys loaded with the best things of Egypt, and 10 female donkeys loaded with grain and bread and other provisions for his journey. Then he sent his brothers away. And as they were leaving, he said to them, "Don't quarrel on the way." So they went up out of Egypt and came to their father Jacob in the land of Canaan. They told him, "Joseph is still alive. In fact, he is ruler of all Egypt." Jacob was stunned. He did not believe them. But when they told him everything Joseph had said to them, and when he saw the carts Joseph had sent to carry him back, the spirit of the father Jacob revived. And Israel said, "I am convinced my son Joseph is still alive. I will go and see him before I die." This is so beautiful, right? Okay, chapter 46. This is the last chapter for tonight. And this is about Jacob's family move to Egypt. This is the move to Egypt. Jacob goes to Egypt. So Israel set out with all that was his, and when he reached Beersheba, he offered sacrifices to God of his father Isaac. This is his place. Like we see, like I'm literally seeing, he always go back to Beersheba and offer God sacrifices there. And God spoke to Israel in a vision at the night and said, "Jacob, Jacob." So he spoke to Israel in a vision of the night and said, "Jacob, Jacob." "Here I am," he replied. "I am God, the God of your father." He said, "Do not be afraid to go to Egypt, for I will make you into a great nation." He's keep giving them this word. So it's encouraging them the promise. He keep reminding them of the promise. This becoming a great nation. I will go, verse 4. "I will go down to Egypt with you, and I will surely bring you back again. And Joseph's own hand will close your eyes." So Joseph's own hands will close your eyes. Then Jacob left Beersheba, and Israel's sons took their father Jacob and their children and their wives in the carts that Pharaoh had sent to transport him. So Jacob and all his offsprings went to Egypt, taking with them their livestock and the possessions they had acquired in Canaan. Jacob brought with him to Egypt his sons and grandsons and his daughters and granddaughters, all his offspring. Verse 8. These are the names of the son of Israel, Jacob and his descendants who went to Egypt. This is where it starts for real. Reuben, the firstborn of Jacob. The son of Reuben was Hanok, Palu, Hezron, and Carmi. The sons of Simeon was Jemuel, Jamin, Ohad, Jachin, Zohar, and Shaul, the son of a Canaanite woman. The son of Levi was Gershon, Kohath, and Merari. The son of Judah was Onan, Shelah, Perez, and Zerah. But and Onah had died in the land of Canaan. Oh, died there. The sons of Perez was Hezron and Hamuel. The sons of Issachar were Tola, Pua, Jeshub, and Shimron. The son of Zebulon was Seared, Elon, and Jaleel. These were the sons of Leah, born to Jacob in Padan Aram. Besides his daughter Dinah, these sons and daughters of his were 33 in all. He had 33 kids. The sons of Gad was Zephon, Haggai, Shani, Esbon, Era, Arodi, and Erila. The sons of Asher was Imnah, Ishva, Ishvi, and Bariah. Their sister was Sarah. The sons of Bariah was Heber and Malchili. These were the children born to Jacob by Zalpah, whom Laban had given to his daughter Leah, 16 in all. The sons of Jacob's wife Rachel was Joseph and Benjamin. In Egypt, Manasseh and Ephraim were born to Joseph by Asenath, daughter of Potiphar, priest of On. The sons of Benjamin, so Benjamin had kids too, huh? At this time, Bella, Becker, he had a lot. Ashbel, Gera, Naaman, Ea, Rosh, Muppin, Huppin, and Ard. These were the sons of Rachel who were born to Jacob, 14 in all. The son of Dan was Hushim. Dang, Dan only had one kid. That's crazy. All them else, everybody else had a whole bunch. The sons of Naphtali was Jaziel, Guna, Jizar, and Shelam. These were the sons born to Jacob by Bilhah, whom Laban had given to his daughter Rachel, 7 in all. Verse 26, all those who went to Egypt with Jacob, those who were his direct descendants, not counting his sons' wives, numbered 66 persons. With the two sons who had been born to Joseph in Egypt, the member of Jacob's family which went to Egypt were 70 in all. Now Jacob sent Judah ahead of him to Joseph to get directions to Goshen. When they arrived in the region of Goshen, Joseph had his chariot made ready and went to Goshen to meet his father Israel. As soon as Joseph appeared before him, he threw his arms around his father and wept for a long time. Israel said to Joseph, now I am ready to die, since I have seen for myself that you are still alive. Then Joseph said to his brothers and to his father's household, I will go up and speak to Pharaoh and will say to him, my brothers and my father's household who are living in the land of Canaan have come to me. The men are shepherds, they tend livestock, and they have brought along their flocks and herds and everything they own. When Pharaoh calls you in and asks, what is your occupation? You should answer, your servants have tended livestock from our boyhood on, just as our fathers did. So they were, tending to livestock, shepherds. Then you will be allowed to settle in the region of Goshen, for all the shepherds are detestable to the Egyptians. That's crazy. All the shepherds were detestable to the Egyptians. And the end, that's the end of chapter 46, Genesis 46. So now I'm about to read the Bible study that goes along with this reading. And that's what I'm tracking from this Bible study to get all of my reading done this year. The entire Bible from front to back. And it just reads, read the Bible in 52 weeks. And this is, this is the Bible study. So it has questions too. But it says, have you ever just wanted to kick yourself for giving up too soon on a goal? For example, maybe you told yourself you didn't have time to go back to school and to complete the degree, even though you were only a few credits shy of graduating. I know life happened. You had financial struggles or caring for an ailing loved one or had kids, and you had to put your dreams on the back burner. So you gave up and told yourself that it was just too late for you. In Genesis 35, Rachel died before reaching her promise. And that's crazy because Moses died before reaching the promised land too. If you've been keeping up with the readings, you know that in Genesis 30, Rachel grieved over the fact that she couldn't have a child. Her sister Leah was fruitful, but Rachel was unable to conceive, which caused her much heartache. But God finally blessed Rachel with a son whom she named Joseph. After experiencing this miracle, she immediately spoke a prophetic word into her own life and said that she would have another son. She had faith that God could do it again. However, Rachel made a mistake. She didn't have enough faith to put God completely first and stop worshiping idols, and it brought her down. That's true. That's true. She had her daddy idols. In Genesis 31, she stole her father's idols from his house when she left with Jacob. When her father came looking for the idols, Jacob called for the death of the person who had stolen them. Oof, that is so true. Not knowing Rachel was the culprit, she did get pregnant again and began to go into labor, hard labor, according to Genesis 35:16. But because of the intense labor pain brought on her by disobedience, she died in childbirth. She was so close to her destination, but she died. Oof. Yeah, this is getting me right now. The baby was successfully delivered. The miracle still came, but Rachel couldn't enjoy the fruit of her labor. That is what they mean by literally. That's literally the definition of not enjoying the fruit of your labor. Like she literally was in labor and didn't enjoy the fruit of it. She pushed it out, did all the hard work, but couldn't sit with her baby. My dear sister and brothers, if you're a brother, giving up is not an option, no matter how difficult the journey. You have amazing goals and dreams. Please do not let those dreams die. Please know that somebody is waiting on you on what is to come through you. They are waiting on a mentorship, a book, a business that has to be birthed through you. So pick those dreams back up, dust them off, and get back on track. You are much closer than you think. Oh, I'm so glad that I read this today. This was the perfect timing. Okay. And then it got a few questions. I'm going to read the questions. These are just points to ponder. It says, what goals did you give up on that just seemed too far fetched? What goals did you give up on that seemed too far fetched? That's something to ponder on. Number two, what visions or dreams do you have that you need to pick up and dust off? This is a good one. I'm gonna write that down eventually, but probably once I get off. But yeah, what visions or dreams do you have that you need to pick up and dust off? Number three, in the story, Rachel had a midwife who tried to encourage her to hold on to her promise. Who do you know who needs encouragement to hold on? How will you help them? Okay. Wow. So then on here it say actions of the week, and it says take a few minutes. Number one says take a few minutes 3 times this week to pray for direction to get your goals back on track. Number two, commit to watching a video or listening to a podcast that will help jumpstart your creative juices in your particular area of interest. Number three, put a timeline in place to accomplish some of your goals one at a time. And then number four, share your goals and timeline with someone so they could help keep you accountable. This was a good study, right? Like these questions are really good. I want to come up with a better way. Maybe I would take notes and like literally talk about what I wrote down. I don't know. I'm still setting things up, so yeah, but I come on here live every day. Usually at night, but sometimes in the morning too. It just depends until I start getting a set time to read the entire Bible, because that's literally a goal of mine this year, to read the entire Bible front to back and to just have more discernment and build my faith in Jesus Christ for the year 2026 and really take action, like not just be a talker of the word, but a doer of the things that God is calling Me too. And I know that God is encouraging you all to do the same. So, yeah, I'm about to hop up off here, but I'll see y'all soon tomorrow if you're on.